No, he don't. No, he don't.
He knows.
Stop that.
Cause he kept saying
Stop that.
Like now he's trying to make a beginning, but
Smack.
a
Smack.
couple months ago he said what he say? It's gonna happen. End of 2019. Did he not say that? Did he not say that? That's what your promoter said.
This is what I'm saying.
I read it all.
This
That's
is
what
what I'm
your promoter
saying.
said.
This is what I read it all too.
That's what your promoter
Terence
said.
Crawford, wait till he get a belt.
Yeah.
He ain't did nothing in the welterweight today.
You
When he
have
get
did
a belt,
nothing.
you want to
You
go
have did
over
nothing.
there. Keith Thurman want to go over there, and now y'all want to say, oh, I ain't fought nobody, but I got a belt now, so why?
Okay. Sean Porter got a belt too.
So now
Sean
this-
Porter got a belt too. Sean Porter. So why am I go to the easy road and knock Sean Porter out? Why wouldn't I?
Look at this dude.
Why wouldn't I?
You a smart man, but not that smart.
Bro, I'm gonna crush you. I promise you.
I'm about to give it to y'all raw and uncut. You know, I started talking to Team Spence, I would say, and Al Hammond and them about May. You know, right after his fight. You know, just going back and forth. You know, they sending me a proposal with the interest of a Spence and Crawford fight. We didn't get a contract until August, and you know, it was just kind of like a regular contract. You know, it wasn't nothing. It was initial proposal. It wasn't even a contract. It was a proposal, and Spence, Crawford, the intentions of us fighting. Okay, so we going on the basically the negotiations of what a contract would look like before we actually got the actual contract. Al goes in to saying a guy that I don't know, never represented me, not affiliated with Team Crawford, have no whatsoever place in Team Crawford's, you know, stable, representing me in a contract which I have nothing upon that I agreed to.
Well, this right here is the particular situation that Crawford's speaking on. This is bigger than Crawford. This is bigger than boxing. Promoters, everyone is associated with this guy at one point in time, and they have to denounce him.
So he's been a very calming, good influence. You know, he's acts as the advisor to Top Rank and the advisor to Tyson Fury. That's his role, and he's done us a lot of good, articulating our position to both Eddie and to Frank. So again, whenever things seem to get out of line with Frank and Eddie, which happens quite often, there's Dan to come in and make peace, and also I think myself. I think Eddie and Frank both respect me as well.
So basically, that was a standpoint of what the contract would look like. So basically, I'm talking to Al, and I'm like, Al, come on, man, I don't even know this guy. You know, how can you do that? And he's like, well, the guy stated he's a part of your team and whatnot, and you know, we going back and forth. You know, I was a good dude, man. I was a, you know, charming guy. You know, he's a cool dude. You know, I kind of like talking to him, but at the same time, Spence is our guy. I'm not. So of course he's gonna do what's best for, you know, his fighter, his guy. That's like, you know, any other manager / advisor would do. he would do the best for his fighter. So, you know, me and Al, we talks on the phone, you know. I get advice from other guys in PBC. They tell me, you know, be careful, make sure the deal is right. They tell me, make sure you don't get fucked. You know, just normal things from guys that's in they stable that I'm friends with. You know, I honestly can say I'm friends with. So, you know, we going on and on, you know, and of course me and Al, you know, we going back and forth about, you know, the numbers. We not going back and forth about anything else. We just going back and forth about the numbers. All in all, I have 2 companies, you know, that reach out to me that, you know, wanted to give me and Spence $25 million guaranteed. $25 million guaranteed up front. So a real guy like myself, I call Spence. Hey bro, look, listen, you know what I mean? I got this company that's willing to give us $25 million a piece, guaranteed. What's up? What you gonna do? He like, 25 million, what about the back end? I'm like, dude, listen, if they make their money back, then we get 80-20. You know what I mean? It's simple math.
I've been in the business, it'll be 32 years in January. I'm in 2 Hall of Fames. I'm going to be in Canastota hopefully someday.
Yeah.
I've been an expert witness in 34 lawsuits. I know my business, and everybody in the business will say I know my business. But these people on the internet that are these LDBCers and these Earl Sexuals, these Haymanites, they're smarter than me in professional boxing, but they've never made a dime from the business of professional boxing. Think about that. But there's about the money coming from a hedge fund, which was, I would assume, because he's on a first name basis and they dine together regularly, frequently, I should say, is probably from Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, yeah.
One of the richest men in the world happens to be him and Terence happen to be at a first name basis with one another. They eat together, and I understand that the Oracle of Omaha there, Warren Buffett helps Terence manage his money, and you know, they have a very close to for Warren Buffett to come up with that kind of money. It would be like me buying you lunch.
Obviously, Al Heyman is in total control of Errol Spence. Crawford is his own boss, but he had the money to pay 20 racks, 20 million, and he didn't. He didn't take it because he can't move unless Al Heyman says, hey, boy, nah, you ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. At the end of the damn day.
I said, man, we got people all still in the fight. They got the fire sticks. He laughed. He like, man, I got a fire stick too. I'm like, see? I'm like, man, ain't nobody really buying, you know what I mean, pay-per-views no more. I said, man, we get this upfront money and we good. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? But one thing about me and the difference, I would say the between Spence is I'm really my own boss now, and he's not. He got to go through Al. He got to go through, you know what I mean, his team and ask them if he can do certain things that I don't have to no more. Yeah, I might have had to when I was with Top Rank because I was signed to Top Rank and they was my promotional company. So of course I had to go to Top Rank and ask them to get me this fight or do this for me or do that for me because I was obligated to do certain things by their standard because I was signed to them. But now that I'm a free agent and I'm free to do whatever I want, I'm the one sitting at the table. I'm the one that's you know, talking directly to these these high individuals. Errol Spence not talking to, you know what I mean, Terence Crawford about the fight. You know what I mean? Errol Spence wasn't at the table. Errol Spence can't tell you or show you a contract that, you know what I mean, says Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, you know, that he was there on the negotiations of. He can't do it.
The thing that gets me is this. If these fighters are, as I said before, if Errol Spence is the big fish, he's his own boss, why does everything have to go through Al Heyman if he's just an advisor? Do the fighter works for the advisor, or do the advisor works for the fighter?
At all times, the fighter is supposed to be the boss and the advisor advises him, but this is not the case. Heyman's the boss. Earl's not, he's telling Earl when he can fight, who he's fighting, and everything else. Earl's not the boss. Earl's full of shit.
You know, so he had to go back and ask Al for permission, you know, if he can, you know, take this big chunk of lump sum of money to fight Terence Crawford, which he didn't call me back, so I proposed it to Al. I hit up Al. I'm like, Al, listen, you know, man, I got this big hedge fund company out here, you know, they claim they know you. Not one, but two. Not one, but two. You know what I mean? Two companies willing to put 20+ million in both of our pocket, guaranteed. Al told me straight up, I'm not letting nobody touch this fight. Like, all right, cool. But I'm like, why? He like, why would you want to put a ceiling on yourself? Why you want to put a cap on yourself? I'm like, well, that's not putting a cap on myself. If this company is taking a risk, then, you know, high risk, you know what I mean, high reward. If that's the case, you know, I can't seem to see a fight that's been doing millions, you know, since Floyd and them. So, you know, that was an altercation, you know. I asked Al, I said, since this fight is dragging on with me and Spence, and we can't get things together, why don't I come out and meet you with my lawyer and we just wrap it up? Just me and you and my lawyer. Al said, you know, his mother was, you know what I mean, not doing too well, and I honor that and I respect that. You know, family first. I'm a family-oriented type of guy, so I know what it is, you know, to, you know, put your family first. So I'm cool with that. But then again, you know, as negotiations still drag on, and I had stated that I wanted to fight in this year, I asked Al again, because we seemed like we wasn't getting nowhere. So I asked Al, I said, Al, listen, why don't you get Spence and you, since you his representative, and I'll get myself and my lawyer, and we just make this fight, you know what I mean, anything we gotta do, we can do it right there and sign, seal, deliver. And Al told me straight up, that ain't never happened in the history of ever, where two fighters sit down at the table and they come to an agreement and they get a fight made like that.
Rick, Crawford also said that because everything was dragging on, he made a suggestion to Al Heyman. He said, well, Al, man, since it seemed like this has been going on forever, you know, he's been trying to negotiate with this guy since May. He said, why don't me, you, my attorney, and Errol Spence sit out in the room and let's just try to hammer it out and not leave the room until we make the deal happen. He said Al Heyman told him, he said that'll never happen. He said that's never happened in the history of boxing. You know what I mean? He said that'll never happen. What do you think about that?
Well, that's a lie, because it happened with Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. Well, Ray Leonard wasn't in the room; he was on a conference call.
Okay.
And
Hagler and Sugar Ray, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I go to Sugar Ray. Ray would
Interesting.
the two Petronellis. Let me get this straight. The two Petronellis and Hagler were in Aram's office, and he got what's his name on speakerphone, Ray Leonard and whoever his advisor was at the time. And in the meantime, they handled it all in like an hour. It was like in record time. This is what you're getting. This is what you're getting. This is this. This is that. This is this. This is that. And everybody was happy. And they made a big fight, mega fight. So
yeah, that was on Bob Arum too, right? Bob Arum was involved in that, right?
Yeah,
Bob Arum.
Yep.
Bob Arum was right there. Yeah.
So yeah, it happens frequently. Joe Calzaghe, Roy Jones, that's how that happened. It was over a conference call. Everybody, because they were over in Wales, and his attorney was in England, and the attorney from that was in the United States was in a suburb of Chicago, and of course Roy Jones was in Pensacola, so they did it on a conference call. There was no Zoom back then. And they did it on a conference call, and that took about an hour and a half. So these things normally, if people want to actually fight each other, these things come together very quickly.
Okay, well, it's the first time for everything. I never heard of a fighter ever taking zero guarantee in a fight. I never heard of a fighter of a 4-rounder taking 0% of a guarantee. That is something that's new to me, but that's something that I was willing to do to make this fight happen. A lot of people, they say, oh, well, Terence, you ducked, or Terence, you did this and you didn't want to fight Spence. I'm the only one that was taking all the risks.
The only fight that I remember that neither fighter got a guarantee, was Joe Calzaghe, Roy Jones, November 8th, 2008. And coincidentally, I made that fight.
Then I don't know what to tell you. So I stated that I want to fight this year, and that was my thing. I wanted to fight this year. So we going back and forth, numbers, boom, 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 boom. So the transparency part, that was the dragger.
One of the reasons why, because Al Heyman doesn't turn in the foreign TV money on the profit sharing to these fighters. He takes the money through another corporation, and it never shows up in the books of Al that the fighters are looking at. It goes to a side corporation, and that foreign TV money is very sizable per show, very, very big. And as low as the PBC pay-per-view numbers have been recently in the last year, since last December the 5th, when Tank Davis only did 52,000 buys against Isaac Cruz, the pay-per-view number is a big percentage of the gross revenues for a show, because they're not doing great pay-per-view numbers. So, and that money's going south, and it's sliding into Heyman's pockets.
Where was Errol Spence at? I didn't hear Errol Spence. Where was the tweets? I didn't hear the tweets. I didn't see the tweets. Where was this guy at? He was under a rock.
But I know where he was. He was on his farm, his ranch, playing with his horses and chickens. He said that many times over the years.
If you a real one, like you say you is, like the truth, you'll come out and tell the truth. You tell the truth, buddy.
What is they say that in some of these contracts, they have a no disparagement clause, because one thing.
Not some of them, all of them.
Yeah, all of them, right?
Not only can't you disparage Al Heyman or any of his companies, it's also his affiliates like Showtime, Fox, TGB, Sam Watson. It covers servants, employees. It covers everything under the sun. I mean, it's a very long paragraph.
Yeah, very long paragraph about what covers under that. So, I mean, it kind of kills the narrative of, well, man, you know, everybody over there living in mansions and driving Lambos and suicide doors, and, you know, they're rich and they taking champagne showers, and I don't hear nobody complaining. So if you have a clause like that in a contract, you wouldn't hear, you know, people who want to complain can't complain.
Right. The only reason why Broner can complain because he's broke, and if you sued him, you wouldn't get anything.
Come on, man. I called you and told you, listen, got this bread on the table, man. What is you doing? What is you doing?
About the money coming from a hedge fund, which was, I would assume, because he's on a first name basis and they dine together regularly, frequently, I should say, is probably from Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, yeah.
One of the richest men in the world happens to be him and Terence happen to be at a first name basis with one another. They eat together. Warren Buffett to come up with that kind of money, it would be like me buying you lunch.
You're not your own boss, my dude. So stop saying that you your own boss. Stop saying that you the truth and you this and you that, but you got to answer to a lot of people, my dude. You got to answer to a lot of people, and I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. They got you to where you is now. They got you to where you is now. But, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying. But like, when you look at it, a lot of people say, oh, well, why you didn't fight Boots, or why you didn't fight Ortiz? Well, them names that never came up. I would have fought them names in a heartbeat. Come on, man. I'm the best fighter in the world. Who you think I am? Who you think I am? I'm the best fighter in the world. I always fought in my mandatories. I ain't never ducked my mandatories.
We was ranked. We beat everybody and we got ranked. Yeah, that's what we got in that position. So we was number one in that position. So quite naturally, we gonna take the IBF. We fight for the IBF. Same if we was number one in WBC or BO or either one of them. We was ranked number 2 in the rest of them.
But you know, yet and still, I hear through the grapevine, Spence is about to fight a guy that he promised and he swore that he wasn't going to fight, which is Keith Thurman. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what's floating around. So, what's up with the trueness with that? You swear up and down that you're not gonna fight this guy. You don't care what nobody say. Now you about to fight him. So that means you was lying, buddy.
Taking it off the gears.
But you know why he got to fight Thurman? You want to know why, fans? Because of the money. It's all about the money. Come on now. He not gonna make that much money fighting Ortiz or Boots. Come on, man. It's obvious. Who Spence gonna fight besides me? That's gonna make, you know, $20 million. Nobody. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I don't know how truthful it is, but you know, Floyd say, you know, he's the spokesman of PBC and he's our right-hand man. We done heard that on numerous occasions, and Floyd came out and said that the fight wasn't happening in this year.
If they had any intentions of making the fight, they were trying to dry him out and have him be inactive. Okay, and that's not what he was going to let happen. They didn't know that Crawford could have an option. They thought they were only the game in town. Yeah, Crawford outslicked Heyman when he said, "I'll take that 35%." Then Heyman was stunned and then had to back up and come up with 40 million excuses because he never thought that Earl would say that Crawford would say yes, and they could say, "Oh, he ducked. He wanted too much money." No, he didn't want too much money. He wanted to make the fight. It's common sense. What's stopping people from recognizing common sense? Take the blinders off, you dumb bastards. All Terence was asking for was decency, fairness, and decency. He couldn't even get that.
Yeah. So
it's self-explanatory. But all these people will jump on Al Heyman's Johnson so hard he needs the Vaseline with the special ointment in it.
So y'all mad at me for going to get a bag? When did that ever happen? Y'all mad at me for going to get a bag? Come on, man. We're going to turn up with BLK Prime. You know what I mean? We're going to do our thing, man. We stepping up to the plate, man. They turning boxing around, man. All the biggest fights, you know what I mean, going through them. You know, they the new wave. You know, hey, giving these fighters, you know what I mean, they just do. You want to fight this guy, you want to fight this guy, they gonna make it happen. It's simple, you know. But hey, my intentions is still the same. After this fight, Spence, you know what I mean, successful. I'm successful. He said he gonna spin the block. Then let him spin the block so I can drop him off where he's standing. And that's just how I'm gonna keep it. It's just that simple. He spin the block. We're gonna be ready for whatever.
For you, the fight wouldn't have happened?
Definitely. But we're here now, and I feel like, yeah, it wasn't for me to make the fight happen, but it was definitely a group effort, us getting on FaceTime, you know, us talking it out, and basically putting our pride down and dropping our egos and, you know, just making this fight happen for the fans. And we made this fight happen for the fans. You know, the fans got to, you know, show why there is a reward in taking risks and, you know, the best fighting the best and, you know, getting back to everybody fighting each other and make great fight happen. We did have a side bet, but, you know, to be 100% honest, I gave him that when we was in negotiations to make the fight happen.
How much we talking here?
A lot more than our first bet.
What was the first bet?
Y'all know, y'all seen the video.
I'm looking for you, Errol. Where you at? I'm in the ocean. You say you the big fish. I'm looking for you.
What's up, everybody? The wait is over. It's
It's game time. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Everybody come out, show support, and watch me fry this fish.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Errol Spence Jr. You know, everybody been waiting on the most anticipated fight of the year versus Terence Crawford. It's finally happening, July 29th, T-Mobile Arena. Gonna put on a great show, a great performance. It's gonna be a one-sided ass whooping. Make sure you like and subscribe.
You two are superheroes. Who would you be? Who would Crawford be?
Superhero? Man, I'd probably be like,
Footwork.
probably like a Goku or something. yeah, I'd probably be like a Goku. And it'd probably be like a Majin Buu or something.